Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Good morning. We are back for another video. Happy hump day. Happy hump day. Thank y'all for being patient with me because y'all know I'll be multitasking over here. Okay. We are doing videos. We're working. We're getting a lot of things done. So thank you guys for hold on. There we go. Thank you guys for being patient with me. Good morning, and good morning. Happy hump day to you all the happy humpers out here. Yes, let's go ahead and speak to everyone. I see you guys here in the building. I see you, Miss Pruitt is first. She is first. Good morning, Miss Pruitt. Good morning, Mary Giles. Good morning, Sheila Washington. Good morning, my Mod True TV podcast. Thank you so much, Leslie Salmon, for being here. Rose Armstead, my other backup mod, thanks for being here. Erica Butler, thanks for being here. Thanks for being here. Terry Copeland, thank you for being here. Carla Burrell, Deborah Banks, Shanice Darden, Emery is here. Marion's Favorites is here. Laura Eden is here. Coletta Passmore is here. Deborah Johnson is here. Essence Tender One is in the building. Nikki B is here. Unique Gold is here. Say good morning, Real. Hey. Maria Perry, thanks for being here. Okay, and everybody else coming into the chat. Janetta Speaks is here. Didi Darden is here. Maria Perry, I think I said, but good morning again. Angela Cuff is here. Gail West is here. Love is in the building. Thank you guys for being here. Thank y'all for being here. Let's get into the show, honey, because we have one. We got a lot of topics that we got to fly through. All right, because I have a 12 o'clock meeting and I don't want to go over. I got to be on time, too. Oh, my God. Okay. Kelly, yes, I see you. Erica Rogers, Laverne Stewart, I see you. Kim Jones, thank y'all for being here. Carla Gas, thanks for being here. Let's get into it. My voice is still kind of sleepy a little bit, but thank y'all. All right, so let's get our politics out the way. Everything said in the video is alleged, in my opinion, and is used for fair use and entertainment, as you guys can see going across my screen, okay? Thank you guys so much. All right. For those of you, I know a few of you guys were asking, how do you reach me? If you want to send me something, you can send it to my IG, okay, my Instagram, or you can send it to, which is Karmelo 7. What is it? Karmelo 75, I think it is. Child, hold on. I don't want to tell you wrong. Hold on. All right. Okay, so it's Karmelo_Rail, okay? Karmelo_Rail. If you guys want to send me something, that's my IG. Caramel, like the caramel you eat, _Rail, RELL. Okay. And you guys can also email me at caramel75@gmail.com. If you want to send me something and you want me to take a look at it or whatever, you want me to talk about a topic, whatever, you can reach me in that way. Okay. All of my information, as you guys can see, what I have on my screen here. Oh, that's just my Cash App. If y'all want to send Cash App, we'll take that too. But let's get into the show. All right. Let's get into the show. Let's get our politics out the way. Then we're going to get into the good tea of the tea. All right. So as you guys can see on my screen, Obama calls out Trump for his unlawful and ham-handed attempts, it says that, to seemingly control Harvard University after his administration blocked the school's $2 billion funding due to Harvard refusing Trump's bizarre DEI demands. All right. All right, so let's get into it. All right, so they said that the university will not surrender its independence or relinquish its constitutional rights. Neither Harvard nor any other private university can allow itself to be taken over by the federal government. All right, so Trump he's doing too much. He's trying to make his presence known everywhere. They said that no government, regardless of which party is in power, should dictate what private universities can teach, whom they can admit and hire, and which areas of study and inquiry they can pursue. All right, so that's according to President Alan Garber. Obama has said here that Harvard has set an example for other higher ed institutions, rejecting an unlawful and ham-handed attempt to stifle academic freedom while taking concrete steps to make sure all students at Harvard can benefit from an environment of intellectual inquiry, rigorous debate, and mutual respect. Let's hope other institutions follow suit, okay? So it looks like it says that on Monday, Harvard University made a statement claiming that they were not going to abide by Trump's demands, which included axing DEI programs, changing their hiring process, and limiting activism on campus. It says that the university called the demands a way for the administration to control the university. So they don't want any type of control by Trump or any of their administration, is what it's looking like. And Obama has stepped up to speak up on that. So great for him. Said that the university will not surrender its independence or relinquish its constitutional rights. The university's lawyers wrote to the government, okay? Neither Harvard nor any other private universities can allow itself to be taken over by the federal government. Now, in retaliation, Trump decided to cut the university's $2 billion in grants and $60 million in contracts, okay, claiming that they will reinstate them once they comply with the demands. So as you guys can see, we do have a bully in office as a president, okay? He's bullying in terms of tariffs. We're going to talk about that here in a second. So he's bullying in way of tariffs, and he's now also trying to bully in terms of trying to change rules and regulations in the universities at which they're not trying to have any of that at their on their campuses. All right. So they're saying, no, we're not going to abide by any of your rules and regulations. We're trying to do what we're doing over here at the damn college. All right. So Trump has decided to take away their funding as a way to try to make them comply with his demands. They said that this makes it the 7th time Trump has done this at to a university in order to push his political agenda, with 6 of the schools being Ivy Leagues. Okay. It said that Trump almost threatened to take away the university's tax exemption status if they continue their defiance. Said that this move would cost Harvard millions of dollars. He don't give a damn. Ain't this crazy? I said that perhaps Harvard should lose its tax exempt status and be taxed as a political entity if it keeps pushing political ideology and terrorist inspired, supporting sicknesses. It says that he wrote in a Truth Social, remember tax exempt status is totally contingent on acting in the public interest. That's what Trump has tried to say. So he is bullying colleges now, you guys. So it said the former president and Harvard alum, Barack Obama, made a statement in solidarity with Harvard, claiming that Trump's move is an unlawful and ham-handed attempt to stifle academic freedom. Obama praised Harvard for setting an example for other universities and making sure the university kept its integrity. So they said that this is an ongoing battle, but it's great to see that Harvard is putting up a fight, all right, against Trump. Thank God for that. Because he's doing the absolute fucking most and not doing enough. And that's just what it is. I'm sick of Trump and these damn crazy rules and regulations that he's trying to push on people. Like the things that need to be addressed, and I said this the other day, the things that need to be addressed, he's not addressing those things. But I think he's focusing more on the smaller issues and things that are not even issues. He's making issues. Like, I don't get it. But shout out to Obama for stepping up and regulating this situation and speaking up for Harvard, because it definitely needs to be done. For him to, for Trump to come in and try to take away $2 billion in grants and $60 million in contracts and claiming that he'll only reinstate it once they comply with his demands, that's a bully tactic. And thank God that they're standing up for it and saying, hey, we will not put up with this mess. Okay. All right, let's move on to the next topic, honey. Let's move on because more things are happening in the world and we want to talk about it. All right. Do we have any Harvard graduates or Harvard students in my chat today? Any Harvard graduates or Harvard students? All right. While you guys are posting that, let's get on to the next topic. Hong Kong, you guys, has posted a shutdown in goods shipments to the U.S., citing that bullying tariff hikes. Okay, so everyone is feeling the heat on this and they're speaking out. So Hong Kong, you guys, they're speaking out in terms of saying that shipping goods from Hong Kong to the United States is about to face a major disruption. Now, Hong Kong posted and has announced that it will suspend all postal services involving goods bound for the U.S., citing recent changes to American trade policies that eliminate duty-free allowances and sharply increase tariffs on incoming items. Now, in a statement released today, it says that the agency said that the U.S. government decision to end the de minimis duty-free treatment for small value goods effective May the 2nd is not only abrupt, but also unjust. Now, Hong Kong Post criticized that the U.S. for what is described as unreasonable bullying, and abusive use of tariffs, and made it clear that it would not collect such fees on America's behalf. All right. Told y'all it's a bully tactic, didn't I tell y'all? Now, as a result, it says that the suspension of surface mail shipments containing goods went into immediate effect on April 16th, while airmail services will stop accepting packages with goods starting April the 27th. All right. So it says that the only items exempt from suspension are documents that do not contain goods. Hong Kong Post emphasized that mail containing paperwork or non-merchandise materials will continue as usual. So for customers who've already sent surface mail items containing goods that haven't yet left Hong Kong, the Postal Service says it will reach out to arrange returns and process postage refunds beginning April the 22nd. Now, the agency also warned Hong Kong residents to brace for a higher cost if they choose to alternate methods or choose alternative methods to send items to the U.S., as the new tariff structure will likely lead to significantly increased fees. All right. Trump is causing a huge mess, y'all. This is a hot damn mess. All right. So for those needing more information, Hong Kong Post is directing inquiries to its customer hotline. Okay. So if you want more information, you will have to go to Hong Kong's hotline to read up more on that. So as you guys can see, with the tariff hike, it's also affecting the postal back and forth from Hong Kong to the U.S. Okay. So you guys will be getting refunds if you're having something coming from Hong Kong or somewhere over there. All right. Because of the high tariffs that were raised by y'all president, child, not mine, because Obama is still my president. Okay. Let's continue. All right. So Gayle King, child, y'all know she just came back from space, child. She went on her lunch break and came right on back. All right. By the time y'all brushed y'all teeth and went where you had to go, Gayle was back from space, honey. By the time y'all got y'all coffee from Starbucks, baby, she was already back from space. She went up there and came right on back. She didn't stay no time. The people were saying they was hoping that Gayle would stay 40 days and 40 nights, baby. But Gayle said, hell no, I will not go and stay that long. And we're going to go and come on back. All right. But she had a lot to say, child. Gayle King just said it's still riding high after the nerve-wracking Blue Origin mission, but said that she is bringing it back down to earth just a bit to clap back at a few haters that says that the money that was spent to send her ass up there in space could have been sent elsewhere. So people are saying that was a waste of money. With we have people that are homeless. We have people that actually need funding, and you guys wasted that just to send Gayle ass up there out of space, child. Let's get into what Gayle had to say about what the people had to say. All right, let's go.
I really resent that people are calling it a ride. We duplicated the trajectory of Alan Shepard's flight back in the day.
What is your message? Yeah, come on, let me walk into the car. What is your message to everybody talking smack? I saw that some people said space is expensive and Americans can't afford eggs. But my goodness!
But this is the thing. I'm going to use the Mel Robbins theory of let them. But I say anybody that is criticizing this, and some of them are people I know and like, so I'm a little surprised. I say you should go to Blue Origin and see what they're doing. I was one of those people in the beginning too. Space, why are we spending money on space when we have so much to do here? Space exploration is not an either or, it's a both and. And because you're doing something in space doesn't mean you're taking anything away from what's happening in Earth. And so once you educate yourself and you see that, and what the team in Blue Origin is doing, what it takes to get that rocket up and get it down safely with the precision. They said the mission was flawless.
Right.
That's number one.
That's what I heard too.
Number two, I really resent that people are calling it a ride. We duplicated the trajectory of Alan Shepard's flight back in the day. No one called that a ride. A ride sounds frivolous. It sounds insignificant. This was a bona fide flight. It was a journey.
Right.
And so I don't like people trying to minimalize what was done there. That's number two. And number three, the thing that most gets me is the message that it sends to young women and young girls. I've had so many people, no exaggeration, reach out to me and say, because you did it, it makes me think I can do it too.
Oh my goodness.
Young women and young girls and even some men. It makes you think what is possible. The more people, listen, everybody's trying, I know it's expensive. Everybody's trying to figure out a way to make it more affordable.
Yeah.
But the more people that get to do it, and every time they go up there, every single time, they're learning something. Right. Two of the women that won are rocket scientists, astrophysicists, activists.
We're doing
experiments. Every time you go up there, you're learning something. So, I say, have you been to space? Have you seen what Blue Origin does to get these machines up, get them up and get them down with the precision that they do? Yeah. So I just say, I'm sorry there are haters. There's always going to be haters, but I really think and that's why I'm standing here talking to you, because I feel so passionate about it. I appreciate you. Hi, Harvey.
What about these ears? Are you getting these ears pierced?
But that's why I feel so careful. That's why I feel so passionately about it, because it's been an inspiration. We're not under any illusion that this one flight is going to change things, but what it does is it does open doors. We're the first, but my hope is it will not be the last. I really resent that people are calling it a ride.
Child. So y'all see Gail and say, I ain't worried about the damn haters, baby. Y'all can hate if you want to, baby. I took that free trip out of space, and it is what it is. Be mad. Like, what else y'all got going on? So that's what Gail had to say. She don't give a hot damn about y'all being upset about it. But yeah, your ass was very much so scared before you went. It looked like the energy has shifted. She was scared as hell. She was like this on camera, child, prior to going out of space. But baby, now she's back. She's the spokesperson for space and the Blue Origin and all this other stuff, child. Gail is just this right here now. Ever since her ass got back, she got a new attitude since her ass touched back down to earth. So shout out to Gail, honey, for going up there and completing your mission and doing what you said you were going to do, because I ain't about to do it. All right, let's move on now. Let's move on, child. Baby, she was scared out of her wits up trying to go up there. I know she, child, wet that darn Depends her ass probably had on sitting up there. I know she peed straight through that damn Depends because she was scared as hell. I know she was. I was scared for you, girl, and I was right here on Earth. Ain't left Earth, girl. Right here. But go off, Gail. You say y'all don't like Gail. Why y'all don't like Gail? What's wrong with Gail? All right, so as you guys can see, all right, so they said that this is very interesting that Young Thug's RICO trial lawyer, you guys, Brian Steele, request the courts grant permission for him to appear as Diddy's legal counsel. So what y'all think about that? So he said, hey, if we can get Young Thug off, we might try to get Diddy off, child. But Diddy got too many damn charges. I don't know. So as you guys can see, yeah, Diddy is going to be looking like he may have Brian Steele, who helped Young Thug get up off his case. All right. Let's get into it. As you guys can see, this is the motion for admission. Okay, pro hack vice. Okay, the United States District Court of Southern District of New York, United States versus Sean Combs. As you guys can see, they have it here where they are petitioning that Mr. Brian Steele represent represent Diddy. Okay, I don't know what I'm thinking about Martell. Martell must have did some crazy shit while he on probation. All right, so sworn statement of Brian Steele. All right, this is him asking. Says to come now, Brian Steele applicant for admission to practice pro hack vice for what is that? Pursuit to make the following sworn statement. Since November of 1991, I have been licensed to practice law in the state of Georgia, and I am a member of good standing of the bar of the highest court in the state of Georgia. Said that the certificate of good standing issued with the state. With this past 30 days by the Supreme Court of Georgia is attached herefor or hereto as Exhibit A. He said, I have never been convicted of a felony. So he's just giving his credentials and showing that he is the man for the job, pretty much. Okay, that's all that's saying. All right, so he has submitted that to the courts to show that he is the person to represent Diddy. All right, so he did represent Young Thug. He did get him off on probation. All right, contingent upon him not getting in trouble, of course. So it says that in court documents obtained by, shout out to the Neighborhood Talk, Brian Steele, the lawyer who is widely known for assisting Young Thug with his RICO trial, has submitted a motion for admission to work as legal counsel for Sean Diddy Combs. All right, it says that in the pro hack vice, it says that Steele has stated how he is in good standing with the bar of the state of Georgia and how he has never been convicted of a felony. Steele does go on to claim that back in 1999, his license was administratively suspended for practicing law in New York after failing to pay his fees. Now, claiming that he was unaware that he was obliged to do so, says that Steele says that in 2005, he paid all outstanding fees associated with his name, resulted in his license being reinstated in June of 2005. He promptly resigned as a member of the New York State Bar. Okay, says that in the documents that he even goes on to mention Young Thug's trial, referring to his infamous moment when he was held in contempt and arrested, which was swiftly reversed after it was determined that the judge demanded that he reveal confidential information. So he is saying, hey, I'm the man for the job. Diddy is looking for more people on his legal team. So, hey, what better person to get as someone who has proven that he may be able to get a person off. So he got Young Thug off on, just probation, which I don't know for Diddy, because Diddy, you got a lot of shit going on. You got more stuff going on than Young Thug did. So we'll see what it gives. All right. I don't know. Moving on. I don't really care anymore. All right, so parents. A bad thing is when you are out here stealing and then you solicit your children to do so as well. All right, so this mother, the Detroit Beauty Supply, puts this woman on blast for using her daughter as an accomplice to steal merchandise. All right, this says no child should be taught to steal. I agree with that. If you're gonna commit a crime, parents, why are you bringing your kids into it as well? Okay, a parent is supposed to teach a child the right thing to do. So if you're gonna go out here and do something wrong, the least you can do is keep your child up out of it. So you're stealing the next generation. You're teaching them to steal, to take things that do not belong to them and wind up in a place that they do not want to be. All right. When you steal something out of the store, that's called a crime, and you will definitely get jail time, especially when your ass is caught on camera. All right. So let's get into this. Stuff in the pocket, all on camera, everything on camera. All right, let's pause. All right, so that it's deeply upsetting to see a child being used to commit theft. Said that she did not only break the law, but it's also set as a damaging example for her daughter. Says that we are asking for help identifying her. If you recognize this woman or have any information, please contact us. This is a serious matter. No child should be taught that stealing is okay. So that let's work together to hold her accountable and protect this child's future. Okay. Child, they probably got her picture up too in the beauty supply store. Y'all know, child, that's how they do, child. You steal something out of their store, they're gonna take a picture from their surveillance camera and they're gonna put it up to see if someone can identify you. So they'll identify somebody that knows her will speak up. All right. Put some reward money behind it and see how fast they come up and talk. All right, there she is again. There it is again. Said the beauty supply speaks out following this incident. All right. So they want to know who this person is that came up in their store and stole something. I'm surprised they ain't lock her ass in there till the police came. Because that's what them Koreans and those Japanese people do, honey. Go up in their place and steal if you want to. They'll lock you, hit that button behind the counter and lock your ass in there till the police get there and they'll press them charges upon you. All right. So yeah, as you guys can see, this woman was up in there stealing some stuff out the store. Obviously, she should have been stealing the wig, but she walked right past the wig and got some edge control, look like, and put it in her pocket and had her daughter put some shit in there as well. So now you're putting yourself and your daughter at risk of being arrested. So parents, do not be out here on the bull-ish committing crimes and soliciting your children to do the same with you. All right. Moving on. All right, LaTocha Scott, honey, former member of Escape, is sitting down with Nene Leakes in one of Nene's upcoming shows. We got it up on our screen. Let's give it a couple seconds because there's a little latency with StreamYard. Okay. As you guys can see, the Nene Leakes show. Nene Leakes has her own show, as you guys know. Says that Who Got Next? Says that you know her from Escape. She's an R&B singer. They say her name, LaTocha Scott, child, and she's got a story to tell. What story? You're going to be talking about Candy, probably mostly. Probably talking about how you and your husband getting divorced finally after you gave him hall passes to go out here and cheat. Says that All Things Tea segment is shout out to Neighborhood Talk editing manager. Yes, that's D, and she's spilling all the industry hot tea. Said hold on to your wigs because it's going down today at 3 p.m. All right, so today it looks like LaTocha Scott, honey, former member of Escape, will be sitting down with Nene Leakes to tell all about whatever she needs to be talking about. She's going to be talking about Escape and how the girls won't accept her back in the groove, how she's reached out when we know this all lies. If you guys watched the show, you guys saw where she and her husband Rocky were taking kickbacks from the group when they weren't supposed to, and she sat there and acted like she didn't know what they were talking about. Candy and everybody else in the group, even her own sister, have said, listen, we've tried to reach out to her and amend things so that everyone can be on tour, including her, but she has refused. She has attitude all the time, and she and her husband be doing little sneaky shady stuff behind the scenes as it relates to the group, and we just think we're not here for that. She want to keep performing certain songs in the group. They want to move on and perform other songs. So it's a mess. It's a mess. So she's going to be sitting down, of course, talking more so about Candy, because she got a huge issue with Candy. I don't know what the hell. Well, I do. Her husband wanted Candy first before he wanted her, but Candy turned him down, so he went and got her ass. All right, so now she went out here and got her some bleaching cream, and now she's going to be sitting up here talking on Nene Leak's show and talking about Escape, because her ass want to be back and getting them coins because they making a bag. Escape stay on tour. And she ain't getting a damn dime because she don't know how to damn act. So as you guys can see, yes, LaTocha Scott. Look at Nene. Come on out here, Nene. Yes, honey. Nene is serving body and Botox face, girl. Give. Okay, body and Botox face, honey. Give as only you can give. Okay. A little subtle shade. All right, so Nene Leakes will be interviewing her. Now let's get a little interview in that I pulled up with LaTocha Scott, honey, over here on the Big Tigger show, because she is always a professional victim, as you guys may know. LaTocha Scott, honey, former lead singer of Escape, has always been a professional victim. Let's get into it, because anytime she do an interview, that's what she does, child. She is gonna be the victim. Let's get into it. I said that there is no love lost. LaTocha Scott speaks, and I call her LaTocha Scott versus LaTocha because she is indeed toxic. Let's go.
Station V103, the ATL's #1 for hip hop, R&B, and throwbacks. Big Ticket Morning Show. Jasmine McBee and LaTocha Scott Bivens is here.
That's right
in the house.
That is an iconic song from an iconic group. And my first question is: do you miss them? Do you miss the group?
I love my sisters.
Lord.
I love them. And this is always gonna be that way. So yes.
How has your time away from them been?
Peaceful.
It's been something that I've had to face every day to say, okay, this is my life now. This is what it is. Hasn't been easy, but at the same time, like I said, when I've been isolated, you know, sometimes we get inundated with just looking at things and, you know, I'm not this way, I'm not that way, but just being by myself without my girls, you know, it's been different.
Aww.
Totally different.
Yeah, it has been, because you know we've been missing you with them.
No.
Yeah.
You know, when they do the tours and concerts, it's like, man,
yeah,
we missing Tasha on that stage with them.
Man,
so do you think you could have resolved all of this?
Well, I think it takes, anytime it's resolved, there's communication, and the communication was just broken. You know, even when I tried to reach out, it was never come back to me like, hey, let's do it. It was always, oh, I never got that. We want you. We want you back. And a lot of times I didn't even know a lot of things that were going on.
Oh,
yeah.
You
I
knew
didn't know.
everything
They
going
didn't
on.
call me and tell me.
I love that. Now, have you talked to like Candy and Tiny? Have you talked to them as well? Or
I have not. I did reach out to Tiny. We used to always talk, but now it's just not that way anymore. But you know, no love lost for sure.
People Station V103, the ATL's #1 for hip hop.
That to say, girl, she's so damn fake. If I'm telling you, if y'all watch their reality show, all right, was it Queens of R&B? I think it was, with Escape and SWV. She had a nasty attitude. Her attitude, her disposition is just nasty as hell. And they reached out to her several times. They would have meetings to include her. She would sit there like this with a whole attitude, face all scrunched up. They be asking her questions. She'd be sitting there mute and like she don't hear nobody. They be wanting to go on tour. Yeah, I don't want to sing that. Yeah, I don't want to do that. They're trying to pick outfits. Yeah, I don't like that. Like, she was just so fucking difficult to deal with. And I feel like Candy and them just got to a point where they were like, we tired of your ass. Like, it's just easier and less stressful for us all to just go on tour and do what we do, baby, and you go do what you do. Like, you, every time it looked like the group is doing well and they get this momentum behind them, here she come want to do this solo project and throw the whole vibe off on the fucking group. Now, it's nothing wrong with her being solo, but it's always the timing with her. Like, she always felt like she was better than the group, like she never needed them. And then when she strike out on these little journeys to be solo and the shit don't work out, then she want to run back. And that's the problem I think that Candy and the rest of the girls in the group had with her, that Yeah, don't use us while shit ain't going well for you to get a bag. And then once things seem like it's going well for the group and we get this momentum and tours and stuff lined up, then you want to do this. Oh, I want to be, solo. I want to do a solo project. She did the gospel thing. It didn't go nowhere, honey. Triple cardboard platinum is what it was, girl. What else? She was trying to do, she did this, residuals thing. That was okay with the Chris Brown. It was all right. I got to give it to her. You sang a little, you did a little too many runs still, as you always do. She did okay with the residuals thing that she did. But everything else that she's put her hands to has not done so well, including her fucking marriage, because your husband's been out here busting down Tatiana. So many women have come forward to say that they slept with your husband, okay? And one girl came out to say she was even pregnant. Well, two came out to say that they were pregnant by your husband. And then you came out crying in a video saying that I know everything. I know everything that my husband do. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. You were embarrassed. So then you try to use the whole, what he do and that you approve of what he do as long as he tell you. No, you didn't, girl. No, you did not. So now she and her husband are separated, headed for divorce. And now she is doing this whole tour of, I miss the girls. I miss the group. I want to be back in the group. I reached out to them. No one is reaching back. Well, if you stole my fucking money, I'm not reaching back either, bitch. You still have not paid your sister that money. And you still talked a whole lot of shit. And your husband stole some kind of VHS videotape of your sister in a compromising position that you supposedly had in a safe that she asked you to hold on to. And you haven't returned that back as well. So yeah, I wouldn't call you back either. I would not call you back either, because it's given that you are the problem, girl. Okay, you are. We don't want to hear your 867 runs anyway on stage no more. We're tired of you. Quiet as kept. Your sister sang better than you anyway, and she's been singing all your parts on tour. And girl, they haven't missed a beat. They are still out here. That's called popping, girl. Okay, they are still out here popping. They're still out here doing their thing without you, and you are mad, girl. You're mad, girl. Get over it. Go be solo and keep putting out triple cardboard albums, girl, that nobody cares to hear about. How you gonna put out a gospel album and you owe people money and treating people the way you do with your nasty ass attitude? Don't nobody want to hear a gospel song from a person with a nasty ass attitude who keeps shit up and be stealing people money. I don't want to hear it. Like, it's very contrary to what gospel music represent anyway. Like, okay, girl, move along. I ain't got no more for you. You ain't about to have my pressure up in here because I don't even care no more. All right. What I do care about is the next topic. Let's move on to it. And there's nothing you can tell me, nothing you can do. That's her. Girl, bye. Fuck out of here. We do not care about your 1,000 runs, girl. We do not. Okay. Do you want to? I want to make love to you. That's her. Ugh. Say you do, girl. Goodbye. We don't want to hear that shit. We do not. Your sister sang better than you anyway. Quiet as kept, honey. Okay. Plot twist. Imagine them moving on without you, girl. Imagine the group moving on without you and they don't give a fuck about you, girl. Imagine that. Okay. And your ass sitting on the tour. You on a tour now. Anybody that'll listen, she gonna be on that shit. Anybody that'll listen, child. Nene Leakes, child. I'm gonna sit on Nene Leakes' couch and I'm talking to her. I'm gonna talk to Big Tigger, child. I'm gonna go on over there, child. I'm gonna talk to Zeus. She gonna talk to everybody. Maybe she gonna sit with Andy Cohen next. I don't know. Hell, maybe she gonna sit with Carlos next, child. Anybody that'll listen to her ass. Maybe she'll break out singing. I don't know. We don't care, girl. I promise I don't care. I promise you with everything in me, I don't care. Moving on, girl. All right, so a retired Baltimore police officer, child, is sentenced to life for sexually abusing children at his ex-wife's daycare. All right, let's get into this topic, girl, because I said, oh, this look like some real hot tea here. All right. All right, so a retired Baltimore police officer has been sentenced to life in prison for sexually abusing children at his former wife's daycare. All right. His name is Little Kids Castle. So that's the daycare's name. All right. Located in Owings Mill in Maryland. All right. So it says that James Wing was found guilty, you guys, in November of 2024 on multiple charges, including R-wording, sexual abuse of a minor and showing obscene material to a minor. Oh, he is something wrong with him. Says that the abuse took place while Wings worked as a driver for the daycare, which was owned and operated by his then wife, Santeria Young. So one of the victims, who was 10 years old at the time, told her family that Mr. James had shown her some some P, some PORN. All right. Now, court testimony revealed that the explicit content was later found on the girl's tablet, said that Weems admitted to watching the PORN while transporting children, but denied ever exposing it to them. What the fuck is wrong with him? So the prosecutors originally charged Weems with abusing at least 3 children. Now, following the guilty verdict, they stated that they would consider additional charges after sentencing. Now, Young, who was convicted of Pow Pow and Weems, okay, after learning about the abuse, which is his wife, so his wife Pow Powed him, all right, testified against him during the trial. I know that's right, honey. Stand up for them children. Said that she had previously been sentenced to 4 years in prison, while the jury was not informed about the Pow Pow, and said that Young recalled how distraught she was when she learned all the allegations, contrasting her emotions with Weems' calm demeanor. All right. So if y'all want to read more, child, go on over to Baller Alert because it has it over there. So she stood up for her children at her daycare. It was her daycare. Her husband was driving the van, like dropping kids off or whatever, picking them up. But he was also exposing them to PORN. And one of the kids who was 10 years old even had it on the tablet. So that was very inappropriate. And they said that he was doing some, like R-wording and some very inappropriate things as well. So shout out to the justice system for giving him life because he should not be on the streets. He is a danger to society, especially children. And shout out to the owner of the daycare, his ex-wife, for standing up for them. Okay. She did pow him. I do not promote violence in any way, shape, or form, but she did what she felt that she needed to do in order to protect the children. Okay, we'll say it that way. All right, so shout out to them. Shout out to Baller Alert as well. Moving on, child. There's some crazy people out here. All right, let's get into some more legal. All right, when I saw this, we got to talk about it, child. We got to talk about it, child. All right, so the race rapper Tay-K is sentenced to 80 years in prison. Damn, how you get 80 years? He got 80 years in prison, all right, for a 2017 unaliving, all right? Now, he was already serving a 55-year sentence for a 2016 unaliving, all right? He's very young when he went in, and they said he already served 7 years already, so they tried him as an adult. Let's get into some things of the things, all right? This is what the judge had to say. Said the Tay-K sentenced to 80 years in the 2017 unaliving, already serving 55 for a 55-year sentence for the 2016. All right, so we're going to just go through some clips, and then I'm going to just read and give you guys some information on the actual trial for those of you that are not informed on what happened. So this is the judge. Let's get into what she had to say.
All right. It states that we unanimously find that the defendant, Tamar McIntyre, did not cause the death of Anthony Saldivar under the immediate influence of sudden passion arising from adequate cause. It states that punishment to be assessed at 80 years in the prison, and there is no fine. Does anyone wish to have the jury poll?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. McIntyre, the jury found you guilty of murder.
Damn, 80
Your
years.
punishment is to be assessed at 80 years in the prison. The court will give you credit for any time served. There's a $0 fine. And with regards to the other offense, all right.
Baby, he sat there like she told him, like she ain't told him he was getting 80 years. Like, is that the reaction that you should have after somebody say you're going to be serving 80 years in prison? That means your ass ain't going nowhere. 80 years. And he just sitting there, child, like, oh, okay. What else you got for me? That's the reaction. Like, he don't give a damn. Baby, you supposed to be crying, doubled over, bent over. Like, well, not bent over, child. Don't be bent over in there. But crying and all that. Like, he just sitting there like he don't give a damn.
Are you requesting that to be stacked?
Yes, we are, Your Honor.
All right.
Your Honor.
And I'm assuming you're against that. Is that correct?
We are, Your Honor. We would just like to briefly, for the record, maintain that our argument would be that to run consecutively an 80-year sentence on top of 50.
Just one moment, counsel. Just give me one moment. Mr. McIntyre, I want you to know that I listened to all of the evidence in punishment and thought about whether or not your sentence should be stacked. I don't know where your mom is, don't know where your father is. I know that you had a rough childhood. And I do know that these offenses occurred when you were very young. And I understand the state of the law, what people consider an adult. I listened to the testimony of the expert that was brought by defense counsel. State, are you requesting?
No
You've
emotion.
already been sentenced to murder in the other county, and then you have a murder here. And the sentence for 55 years, that's a stiff sentence. This 80-year sentence is a stiff sentence.
Yeah.
And these are cases where you have to serve half your time, and that's day for day time. And I recognize that.
Wow.
Hopefully you will grow, but based upon his age, based upon the number of years that he has received out of Tarrant County and the number of years that he's received here, based upon his history and the lack of any type of good parenting. From what I can tell, his mother wasn't a good parent to him. His father wasn't a good parent to him. Child Protective Services was not good. And if you believe the testimony, I don't know why Child Protective Services would place children back with a father who put the children's mother in the hospital.
That's the problem that I have with Child Protective Services. Now, we've talked about this before. They will remove them from a place where the child is being abused or something happened to the child that's traumatic and put them in another traumatic situation. I never understand that about CPS. Sometimes they miss the mark. And they definitely missed it with this young man right here because he was traumatized. You know, he really didn't have a great relationship with his mom or his dad. So that made him, well, not necessarily made him, but it contributed to him being the person that he is. He's sitting here like emotionless, like he don't give a fuck about what what the judge is saying right now. He had a very traumatic childhood with abuse included. So let's continue. This is sad. This is sad.
Is there something else that needs to be done with our society? Yes. Is more money need for Child Protective Services and their workers? Yes. And I do realize that while this is a lot of time, and I tell people all the time, any time that you do in custody is a lot of time.
Mm-hmm.
But by that same token, you're still alive. And what the state has said is true. You're still alive. You can still better yourself. If you end up in prison for the rest of your life, you're still alive. You still can improve yourself. Your family can still visit you. But the complainant in this case is deceased, was not. And you need to internalize that the complainant in this case is deceased and that his family is never going to see him again. So you're going to have to make changes. And you're going to have to remove people from your life who are not of benefit in the means of making you a better person. And I
keep in mind now, he's taken 2 lives, 2016 and 2017. Y'all see that?
Do understand that sometimes people will go to prison. They join gangs because you need protection, because you're there by yourself. You're young, but you're going to have to make better choices. Mm-hmm. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So I'm going to sentence him to 80 years in the prison, give him credit for any time served. There is a $0 fine. This will run concurrent with 1511547D. And
his punishments were too big for.
All right, so this is his sister testifying on his behalf. All right, we're gonna look at this.
Maybe like,
oh, I'm sorry, let's go back.
Yeah, just bad grades. Or like the thing, like if we got bad grades, then we would be punished. Like he would. It started off by maybe the whoopings got worse and worser, and then now it's not a belt. Now it's a 2x4. Grades and stuff like that.
So as she's explaining the things that they went through in their childhood, how the father would discipline them for bad grades, and he would go from maybe using a belt to using, a piece of wood. We'll say it that way. All right. So they're saying that a lot of the things that he went through in his childhood contributed to the trouble that he got into later on, or maybe what he's being charged for, okay? And they're trying to get him a lesser sentence, but the judge was not buying it because back-to-back deaths, they don't play that. Like, sir, you got 2 people that you unalive, 2016, 2017. Of course, they're not going to be lenient because it's a repeated situation. Oh my God.
We weren't bad kids to be doing going and doing anything. We didn't have any business. We were too young and we moved around a lot to know what's going on in our outside world. We were just learning. So it would be stuff like bad grades and stuff like.
Were there ever any signs?
We'll move on because some of this stuff we can't hear respectfully, okay? I'm just giving you guys a little insight on what happened, okay? So she's just talking about the punishing phase between she and her siblings and how they were treated growing up to try to get her brother a lighter sentence, all right?
Built a relationship with him, and one day he had some type of bruising or something on his face. I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was a black eye or what, but the teacher ended up asking him, and he ended up being honest with her, and the school intervened and they called our dad and our stepmom. Our stepmom came to the school and they ended up talking to us saying that we can't have any contact with our dad, and they just released us to her the same day.
So as you guys can hear her, the son, the one that's on trial right now, who just got the 80 years, he went to school because he had some type of bruising on his face and he reported it. He was honest with the school and the faculty. They of course reported it to CPS. CPS stepped in and told them they could not have any more contact with their father. So that's when they became, or that's when they were put into the system. Okay. And then them being put into the system wasn't even better for them because they continued to experience abuse where they were placed. Okay. So this is him. This is so sad. I mean, it's kind of like a catch-22. I feel sad for him in terms of what he dealt with as a child, the trauma that he dealt with. And then at the end of the day, I feel like it's very sad that he felt the need to take somebody's life, not once, but twice. So you definitely have to take accountability for that. And unfortunately, he was sentenced for 80 years. That's a long time. Your entire life is swept away and gone now. Hopefully he finds some rehabilitation in prison. Hopefully he doesn't get tied up in gang activity in there, which he probably will for protection. Okay. If you look at him and you know how the prison system works, they're going to get at him. They are definitely going to get at him. So for protection, he may. And hopefully he doesn't get into any more trouble or unalive anyone else while he's in there trying to protect himself, because it's going to be a fight. He's going to constantly be fighting for the rest of his life for protection. In prison unless he link up, and y'all know what I mean when I say that. So this is very sad. I don't want to stay on this too long. Let's go ahead and play this video.
Thank you.
The jury has reached their verdict, as you guys can see here.
All right, if the defendant could please stand. We, the jury, find the defendant, Tamar McIntyre, not guilty of the offense of capital murder. Excuse me, no. No, out of the courtroom. Out of the courtroom now.
She don't play. Yes. Get them out of there.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, you don't ignore that. Sometimes, as you can tell, people are invested, correct?
Y'all see that? She don't play. She kicked him up out of there. So he's found not guilty of the capital unaliving, but he's still found guilty of unaliving. Okay, let's get to the next tab. All right.
So it says, we, the jury, find the defendant, Tamar McIntyre, not guilty of the offense of capital murder as charged in the indictment. We, the jury, find the defendant, Tamar McIntyre, guilty of the lesser included offense of murder. Does anyone wish to have the jury polled?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. And do you want them polled as to both counts?
As to the count of conviction, Your Honor.
All right, you may be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to ask you if, in count 2, the guilty verdict for murder, if that is your verdict. If that is your verdict, I'm going to need you to respond yes. Does everyone understand?
Yes.
So we'll.
his reaction is just so mind-boggling. I don't know. Maybe he's just scared. Maybe it just didn't hit him yet. Because for something, this is a lot to take in at one time. Maybe it just didn't hit him yet. I'm gonna give him that. I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt. Say maybe what the judge just said to him did not hit him yet, because he's kind of sitting here like, okay, all right. I feel like it just didn't hit him yet.
Start on this end and work our way down.
So as you guys can know, we're not gonna look at all that because child. As you guys can see, rapper accused of unaliving in San Antonio, sentenced to 55 years in prison for another Texas slaying. All right. So they reduced it from capital unaliving so that he would not get the death penalty down to just unaliving. So he would only get the 80 years. So he would still be alive and serve out his 80 years consecutively. He had the 55. Now he has 80 years consecutively to serve, and he's not getting out. All right. That was his family back there, like rejoicing, like, yes, because they, I guess, did not want him to get the death penalty. But bottom line is he's still not coming home. And it's still a sad situation. Where were these people when he was going through what he went through as a child? Like, it's so crazy that you get more support in court whenever you're tried and get ready to be put away for 80 years. But where were these same people when he was going through what he went through as a child? I have a problem with that. Let's move on. Let's move on. The justice system is doing what they're needing to do. Now, we spoke about PPP loans. Let's move on. PPP loans, anybody that filed for a PPP loan under false pretenses, they are cracking down. They are doing more arrests. All right. This young man here said that people are starting to get arrested for the PPP loans that they got during COVID pandemic. If you did some fraudulent activity and you filed for a PPP loan, they're coming for you. All right. Let's get into this topic here. All right. Destiny, you hear this? I hope you watching my video, Destiny Payton from Love and Marriage Huntsville, because some of your employees came forward to say you ain't paid them, but you did file for PPP loans and that money was supposed to go to them, but you took your ass to New York to go to a play and wild out, girl. So yeah, when the popos come and do this right here on your door, you already know. All right, let's get into it, girl. All right, let's get into it.
My cousin did it, my brother did it, then my best friend did it. I said, shit, sign me up. Now, I wish I never fucking did the shit. So, bro, 4 years after the money already spent, I get a knock at the door the other day. Boom, 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 boom. Dallas Police Department, open the door. We know you're inside. Shit, I open the door because I ain't do shit. What the hell y'all banging on my door like that for? Put your hands behind your back. You're under arrest. I'm like, damn, what the hell I do? Can I put my dog up? They're not giving me no information, not letting me put my dog up. Get to the van, take me downtown. I'm in booking, asking, what am I being arrested for? They're not giving me no information. I find out when I get in front of the judge, I got 4 charges. Bank fraud, wire fraud, making false statements, and tax evasion. So the judge never mentioned PPP. So it's not registering to me what am I actually here for. So he set my bond at $20,000. I go back to my cell. I'm talking. So in 2020, everybody was doing the PPP. My cousin talked to my cellmate, and I tell him about the charges. He like, bro, that's for PPP. I'm like, how you know? Tell me why this man tell me that it's been at least 50 people that came through within the last week with the same charges. So the jail is overpopulated. The court's backed up for months. My next court date isn't until July. After I make bail, they tell me I got to go on an ankle monitoring bracelet. And this bitch hurt. Bro, I can't leave the house. I can't smoke. I can't drink. I can't do shit. And mind y'all, they can listen to anything I'm doing at any given time and freaking talk to me through this bitch like it's a walkie-talkie. I talked to my public defender earlier, and this man tell me I'm facing 22 years in prison, but if I find a way to get them the $22,000 back, that he can give me less than 10 years. I don't even have money for a paid lawyer. So yeah, I got a $10,000 watch for sale if anybody want to buy it. Talk to my cellmate.
You big dummy. So you took PPP loan money and went out and bought a $10,000 rollie, and you don't have no money for an attorney, and you didn't think this shit was going to come back on you, and you are mad because you are have on an ankle monitor because the jails are backed up. Yeah, and y'all heard him. He just said his court date is coming up in July. So unless he can give back the $22,000, they can lower his 20-year sentence or 22-year sentence down to 10 years. He's still gonna be in there. But what kind of deal? I mean, it's a deal, but it's not a deal, shit, because you're still gonna be in there. Your whole life is fucked up now because you decided to be greedy and get in on something you shouldn't have got in on. I keep saying, if it sounds too good to be true, it usually is. So your family, several family members did the same thing with this PPP loan bullshit and got the money. I told you the Fed's gonna sit back and watch you spending habits. They gonna see you doing this shit. You walking around and you just put your little watch up there. Yeah, $10,000 watch. Anybody want to buy it? Yeah, no. You need 22,000. What's that around your neck? How much can you get for that Amazon chain around your neck? Okay, you need 22. The Feds are saying they want the 22,000 back if you want to get that 10-year. So if you ain't got that, you looking at 22. All right. So good thing you got your dreads already and you lived your life. He said he done spent the money, child. He done ran through that 22K in 4 years, honey. So now he is out here looking dumb. He don't have a paid lawyer. So you can be represented by a court appointed, which you probably ask, you're gonna go to jail anyway. But they don't really fight good for you as much as a paid lawyer. So good luck to you for being stupid. And that goes for anybody else. If you went out here and did that PPP loan fraud bullshit because your ass is getting ready to go to jail. They cracking down. He said over 50 people, according to his cellmate, said that 50 people have already come through there that they've already arrested. So they ain't got nowhere to put your ass in jail. They're going to go and put an ankle monitor on you until they can get to your ass. And then you're going to go on to court and be sitting up in there for a good 20 or so years because they got him on 4 charges of 4 different frauds. Ain't that stupid? So I could spend 22K into that. Me too, if you know, but I'm just not that reckless with my money. But that won't your money. But yeah, so y'all see, if you file for PPP loans and your paperwork ain't right, you know, I don't know what to tell you. You get ready to go to jail because they are cracking down. It's only a matter of time. And if you think you got away, you did not. Okay, they just ain't spent the block on your ass yet. But just know they are coming for your ass. Let's move on. I don't know what to tell you. Let me send you an ear hug right quick. All right, that's it. That's all I got for you, honey. I don't know. Johnny Cochran ain't here no more, so you going to jail. All right, that's the only person that could have got you out that shit. That's the only person. Don't call Ben Crump, honey, because he probably ain't gonna show up to court. He got so many cases backed up. Hell, we still ain't heard shit from Shanquilla case. Anywho, and anyway, let's get up on into this next thing, child. This is giving this whole Car Chronicles is giving cases today. Oh my God. Y'all, let's get on to the next case. All right. So Karmelo Anthony, not to be related to the basketball player, not him. The teen that unalived another teen for bullying him out of his seat. We talked about this. I've been covering it. He is released, of course, you guys know, on house arrest after his bond was reduced to $1 million to $250,000 in the fatal Texas track meet starving. We got to say it in that way. For YouTube's sake of the young man, Austin Metcalf. All right, so we do have an update because the judge who lowered his bond from the $1 million to the $250,000, she is requesting more security because her life is being threatened. And they are actually going through and hold on, because I gotta make my notes, child, because I got so much going on. They are investigating the threats that are being put out on this particular lawyer. Okay, I mean attorney, not attorney, but judge. Okay, so they are putting out threats. They're sending out threats, death threats to this judge who reduced this young man's bond from $1 million to $250,000 and put him on house arrest. So since she did that, several threats have come out to this judge, and she has upped the ante for her security. And they're also investigating threats. So if anybody's sending out threats towards this judge, just know your ass getting ready to be going to jail because they ain't playing. They are not playing. So when they catch your ass for putting these threats out, whether social media or anywhere you put them, your ass gonna be in jail because that's communicating threats, okay? Terroristic threats. So let's get into it. All right, so according to Minister Dominique Alexander, says that Karmelo Anthony is safe at home. That's his father, okay? Or maybe that's his attorney. Says that this moment is a reminder that a community united can never be divided. Says that the journey ahead is long, but today we celebrate a victory for justice, for family, and for the power of the people coming together to protect our youth. Thank you to everyone who stood with us. The fight continues, but tonight Karmelo is home. They really need to pay very close attention and watch this young man. And I hope he has security as well, because you have a lot of people who are not happy he is home. Okay. A lot of people that are not happy he is home. So I really hope they have surveillance and security for him as well, because we don't want somebody coming up before justice can be served in this situation to try to unalive him because they're upset at the way this case is going. All right. All right. So let's get into this. Let's play.
All right. Come on, man. Just follow back behind us. Just stay close, okay?
Karmelo, do you have anything that you'd like to say, Karmelo? Do you have anything that you'd like to say to the victim, to the family of the victim? Why were you armed, sweetheart? Karmelo, why were you armed at school? Explain your self-defense. How is this self-defense?
Excuse me.
Well, is there anything you want to say to the community that's donated?
All right. Come on, man. Just follow baby behind us.
So you see that the attorney is prepping them, just letting them know we're about to come out here, child. The news media, everybody's out there. Don't be scared. Just keep walking. Don't stop. Don't say anything to anybody. Just go straight to the car, and that's it. So they're just prepping them, letting them know. Okay, I just saw that. Oh, goodness. All right, so it says that today, Collin County Judge Angela Tucker of the 199th District Court reduced Karmelo Anthony's bond from $1 million to $250,000. The Next Generation Action Network is currently working with the Anthony family to get the bond processed and will keep the community updated regarding his release. So that we want to sincerely thank everyone for their overwhelming support that you've shown. This is just the beginning of a long legal journey, and we will continue to stand strong in defense of Karmelo's rights. Goes on to say, please continue to share and support the official fundraising efforts that have been created to help cover legal expenses and ensure that the Anthony family is fully supported during this time. Okay. What is this? So they have something here. I may put that in the thing later. Can I? I don't know. So that's the link that they have to support the legal representation for Mr. Karmelo Anthony. Said that we will not be moved by hate or bigotry. Said that when the people unite, that we can never be divided. Said that hate can only be driven out by light, and the people rising up to protect a 17-year-old boy is a powerful reminder of what democracy truly looks like. We stand for Black rights. We stand for all rights. This is what justice in action looks like. Okay, so hashtag for Karmelo Anthony, hashtag. All right, y'all see that? Okay, you guys can see that. I don't want to read all this. You guys can read this at your leisure. Go to Hollywood Unlocked. So this is just the update.
And we begin tonight with a major update on the deadly stabbing at a high school track meet.
Karmelo Anthony is charged with killing Austin Metcalf on April 2nd in Frisco, and he just walked out of jail 90 minutes ago after a judge reduced his bond.
Jobin Puniker live at the courthouse tonight with a look at where this case stands tonight. Jobin?
Now, this case has been, well, different from the start, and there's so many other words we could use: unexpected, polarizing, volatile. Today, there was a packed courtroom for a bond hearing. And just now, we're hearing from Collin County, we're hearing of a social media post that appears to dox a sitting judge. That is a crime. And of course, none of this is normal. And sadly, it has set the tone for this case and possible trial. 6 hours after a judge lowered Karmelo Anthony's bond, he walked out of jail in a suit, headed straight home into house arrest. The end to a long day that started with a not so typical bond hearing with extra security, 2 metal detectors.
And we begin tonight with a major update on the deadly
detectors and a packed courtroom. No cameras were allowed inside. Anthony, who is 17 years old, is charged with murder in the death of Austin Metcalf. Metcalf died after he was stabbed at a track meet in Frisco.
This is a tragedy all the way around.
Mike Howard is the new defense attorney for the family. The defense wasted no time making a case for self-defense. Anthony's father testified, saying his son is a straight-A student, a football and track captain with a network of supportive family and friends.
There's 2 sides to every story, and we've only heard one side.
The family sat on opposite ends. Anthony was in a yellow jumpsuit. He was mostly stoic with one-word answers to the judge. The judge says her decision to lower the bond from $1 million to $250,000 was based on factors like age, his ties to the community, no prior criminal history, even his U.S. citizenship.
What we're concerned about as prosecutors is justice, truth, and accountability. And so we will go where the facts lead us.
The DA, Greg Willis, says his actors and a packed courtroom. No, his office does not have the case from Frisco police yet. Willis has already made it clear he wants this case to stay in Collin County.
This has definitely rocked our entire community. It has struck a nerve.
Both sides may differ on what justice looks like here, but they agree all the noise surrounding this case has grown to deafening proportions.
Threats and talk of race war and all kinds of insanity isn't good for, obviously, the Anthony family. It's not good for the Metcalf family. It's not good for the peace and safety of our community. I would ask, and I know both sides would ask, that the temperature on this be allowed to come down.
The next step will be whether a grand jury decides to indict Anthony on this charge. That could take several months. In McKinney, I'm Jobin Puniker.
If the decision is made to expel the student, they can appeal at a special meeting. The district ultimately makes the final decision whether the student stays in school. That's
the young man that he unalived. As you guys know, the twins, this young man who's unalive, he has a twin brother. These guys obviously were much bigger than Mr. Anthony here. And he was sitting in the stands and they walked up to him. As you guys can see, that's a huge stadium. They could have sat anywhere. They walked up to him in a bullying fashion, according to what Anthony was saying. And they told him to move from his seat because they wanted to sit there and he refused. So they continued to bully him, and including putting their hands on him. They grabbed his book bag to try to move him via his book bag, and he defended himself. And now he is using self-defense as his reasoning for doing what he did. Okay. So a lot of people have chipped in to try to help with his legal defense. A lot of people are pulling for this young man here, Mr. Anthony, Karmelo Anthony, in this situation, saying, hey, he was bullied. He was, trying to protect himself. These two guys walked up to him and they started this situation. My heart go out to the family that lost him. But at the end of the day, you have to teach your kids, keep their hands to themselves. Bullying is not okay. This could have been avoided. I said it yesterday. And I'm not downplaying the fact that someone lost their life, but what I am saying is you have to teach your children to keep their hands to themselves. Unless someone touch you first, then you can defend yourself. That's when you're defending yourself. If someone do something to you first, you're not defending yourself if you touch them first. So you have to teach your children the difference between how you defend yourself and when to defend themselves and what it looks like. Okay. Something obviously was going on with him if he felt the need to be carrying a weapon. I'm not sure why he had a weapon on him at school or on school camp grounds or whatever. Probably he was being bullied before in another situation. So a lot of kids are doing it more and more now. We hear about pows being taken to school. We hear about knives, and we got to say it that way, being taken to school for protection, because these kids nowadays are ruthless when it comes to being bullies. They just are. Teach your kids that bullying is not okay. Teach your children to stand up to a bully, because the only way they're going to stop is if you stand up. And a lot of times, unfortunately, kids lose their lives trying to stand up to bullies. And a lot of kids take their lives because they don't want to be bullied, and it's too much. Mentally, it cracks down on their mental, their psychological. It does. Teach your children about self-esteem. Tell them at home, you're beautiful, you're this, you're that. Big your kids up. I do it with mine. You can't tell my son nothing about him. He know he handsome, okay? He know he that. He know he's the shit. He know it. So when he go to school, anybody tell him otherwise, he don't hear that shit. Just don't put your hands on him, because you can find out, because he will fight you. And I support him defending himself, all right? But teach your kids to keep their hands to themselves. This could have been avoided. I'm sad. I'm sad that this happened. So it says help Karmelo official fund. The goal was $300,000. They've already raised $208,618. All right. So as you guys can see, y'all can go and y'all can pull him up. Go pull it up. There's a link to help this young man. Go to Hollywood Unlock, you guys. The link is there in this slide if you guys want to do that. And his family, the other young man's family that was starved and unalive, they also have a GoFundMe set up as well. And they raised, as you guys can see, $274,832. All right. So there you go. There you go. This is so sad. See how big he is over here? Huge guy. Huge. Towered over him. He was probably afraid. he looks like he could be intimidating. He really does.
Was mad my son is not here anymore.
That's
and I don't understand it.
Austin is being remembered as an honors student with aspirations to play college football. Despite the shocking loss, Austin's father says he chooses forgiveness over anger.
I forgive the other person because the forgiveness is not for him. The forgiveness is for me, so I can have peace. His life is destroyed. My life is destroyed.
The arrest affidavit says as Karmelo Anthony was being arrested, he asked if Austin was okay. Anthony is being held on $1 million bond. Andrea Fujii, ABC News, New York.
It was mad my son is not here anymore, and I don't understand it.
Austin is.
Look how big those guys. They tower over their parents. These are some big guys. They're only 17. These boys are only 17. They're twins, 17 years old. So look how small Karmelo Anthony is over them. Now imagine these two big guys towering over you like this, telling you get up, move out this seat. He's looking like, oh shit. Oh my God. That's intimidating. And then for them to initiate and put their hands on him, that, yeah, he felt the need to defend himself. And I'm not promoting what he did. I'm not promoting that, but I understand why he felt the need to protect himself. These guys are huge. Look how big they are. All right. But let's get off this topic, child, because I don't want to talk about it no more. Lord, it makes me sad. All right, we're going to hit and quit this topic here. This is an update on this topic because we talked about it. So we got to spin the block and update you guys on this. All right. So Sean Kingston, you guys, I told you guys that he was picked up by the feds because he could not come up with his $100K cash bond. Well, it looks like he's found the money, child, because they said that Sean Kingston, honey, has managed to finally post the $100K cash bond after feds scooped him back up for failing to pay the cash bond upon wire fraud conviction. Okay. So he has posted that bond. He is out again. They locked his ass right on up. He ain't had that money. I was like, okay, come on, yeah. All right. So they picked him up. So now he has gotten the money. All right. Kassan Paul Anderson, as you guys can see, registered number, Miami-Dade, says that back behind bars, singer Sean Kingston was found guilty last month of all 5 charges related to federal wire fraud case. Is back behind bars after failing to satisfy a $100,000 cash bond. The records show. All right. So he has since posted that money. That's his bald-headed mama right there, because she was also found guilty in a connection with his fraud cases as well. So her ass is set to be going to trial, and she is set to be going, well, not trial because she's been found guilty, but she's set to be locked the hell up too if she's not already in there. Okay. Cha. I keep saying, girl, you predator in the back and DMX in the front. You DMX in the front and predator in the back. Go off.
And right now, the jury deliberating in rapper Sean Kingston's federal fraud trial in Broward County.
Text messages between Kingston and his mother were shown in court today as the two face charges in what prosecutors are calling a $1 million scheme. Local 10's Andrew Perez is joining us. He's in Fort Lauderdale with the very latest.
So Sean Kingston chose not to testify. His own attorney, though, painting him as a kid who spends too much money, a kid who isn't even aware of how much money he has, of how all of that works, and that his mother is a protective mother. They're insisting right now that what happened here were civil disagreements and not an intention to defraud. Day 5 and back in federal court. Closing arguments wrapping up for singer and rapper Sean Kingston. Federal prosecutors telling jurors they're gonna have to make up their minds here, posing one question: did he act with intent to defraud? Alongside his mother, Janice Turner, also charged with conspiracy to commit wire fraud.
And right now,
so you guys can see they were both found guilty of 5 charges of fraud. Okay, so we already covered that. So the update is he did bond out. All right. So we're going to just hit and quick because this is an update as well. So yesterday we reported that Tokyo Tony said that she moved one of her fans into her home, and this person turned around to rob her. They used a vacuum cleaner to bust out her back window or back glass on her door and gained entry into her property and stole jewelry, furniture, and a few other things. Well, I'm just gonna play and then pause because we can't watch the whole thing. But she ran into this person. She was looking for this person, and she wound up running into the person that stole some things from her home that she tried to help. All right. It said it looks like Tokyo Tony came face to face with the person that she says robbed her home. Things did turn physical, so I'm gonna play it up until that point. Then we're gonna stop it for YouTube's sake because we can't show any type of violence. But she did put pause upon this person, honey, for doing so. Now, the person that's saying that Tokyo Tony is saying that the person that stole from her is also saying that she tried to have some sexual. Let me get to it. Hold on. The person is saying that that Tokyo Tony tried to sexually harass her and was asking for some oral transactions from her. So that is her defense. Okay, that is what's being said here. They're saying that the woman, the woman that broke into Tokyo Tony's house, that was a fan that Tokyo Tony allowed to stay in her home. This woman is saying that Tokyo Tony was asking for oral transactions and was sexually harassing her. Now I don't know what that has to do with you stealing from her home. That's I don't know why. So she asked for some oral transactions. So you take her couch and her jewelry. I don't know if that's a great defense, but that's what had happened. So I'm gonna play just a little bit of the altercation, and then we're gonna get off it.
You want me to eat your? Why would I want you to eat my? Why would I want your dirty? Hell, bro. Why would I want your dirty?
All right, so as you guys can see, the two of them started arguing. Tokyo then reached over and put the pause upon her, and they began to have an altercation. But this person is saying that Tokyo was sexually harassing her and wanted, sexual favors from her, and she declined. Okay?
Vacuum to bust the back window out.
Just a little bit of what Tokyo had to say in this situation. We played it. We're just going to update for those of you that did not get to see the video. All right.
Knocked the whole out. Stole all my downstairs. Stole my jewelry box. Stole my safe. Knocked this over. Took all my shades. All my glasses. See, she got me. All my. Stole all my. No, the broke in my house. As soon as we left. When you're trying to help people, you don't know that's a mental. So far, we had about at 98,000 that she took out of here. I'll fall back for a couple of days, She got me nervous. That's all. Chill out on social media, just relax for a day. That's all.
All right. She said she robbed my fan, honey. Who is out here letting fans just move in their house? I said this yesterday. Who is that desperate that you allowing a fan, a person who you don't know, a fan of yours to move into your home, and you leave your home and you come back and this person has busted out your back door and taken everything out of there?
Destroyed property and stole everything. No, she got to deal with whatever. Huh? I don't know, but wherever she goes, there's gonna be a problem. Yeah. I call the police. The street. Vacuum to bust the.
So she said, hey, it's pretty much on site when I see her. And when she saw her, it was on site. As you guys can see, they threw hands once Tokyo ran up on her and saw her. So there you go. If you guys want to see more of it or you want to see the altercation, go on over to the shade room because that's where I saw it. All right, moving on, child. Crazy. All right, so let's get into some Brit Eady information. I'm tired of talking about Brit Eady, but it is news, child, and we got to talk about it. Okay. As much as I hate talking about certain topics, we still got to talk about it because it's news. All right. And that's the job of a blogger, honey. Job of a blogger. We got to talk about it. All right, so as you guys can see, Brit Eady's mother comes for Kenya Moore. Y'all know who Kenya Moore is from Real Housewives of Atlanta. She was first suspended from Real Housewives of Atlanta for showing revenge pictures of Brit Eady at her spa opening on the show. Bravo then did a thorough investigation and found out that Kenya Moore did violate the code of conduct, so they fired her from the network and or the show Real Housewives of Atlanta. So Brit Eady's mother has now spoken up and made a comment towards Kenya Moore. And she says, you guys see on my screen, she was Miss USA and she's supposed to be motivating young girls to be like her. So she's saying, hey, are you a great person to be looked up to in terms of doing this to my daughter? So Brit Eady's mother is now speaking up, child, against Kenya Moore. All right. So I'm pretty sure Kenya Moore is going to probably respond to that because she got a slick mouth as well. So Brit Eady's mom has come for Kenya Moore. All right. Let's continue. All right. Y'all work with me. I'm going to be sharing and unsharing, okay? Because I'm trying to breeze through this, child. I don't want to stay on this too long. All right, so as you guys can see, this is a scene from Real Housewives of Atlanta where Brit Eady is in tears as she's talking to her husband about the different events that happened and occurred at the spa event when the pictures were exposed. It said that it was the stills were taken from a certain OnlyFans, I'm hearing, site or PORN site that she was said to be on, because Brit Eady was that girl back then. She was buzzing wide open. They said child doing some very explicit things, and they're saying that maybe another cast member gave those pictures to Kenya Moore, at which Kenya Moore blew those pictures up onto these huge billboards, at which she showed them at her spa opening, which ultimately got her fired. So they're saying here, Brit Eady is in tears over Kenya's event fallout. She says that I've been getting calls from my clients. Now they're saying that she has, when she say client, she's talking about her, she has some type of insurance license. So aside from her being on Real Housewives of Atlanta, being a cast member, she also is an insurance agent. She's licensed. And they're saying, she's trying to say that Kenya Moore got her license either revoked or suspended behind showing these pictures. But they're saying that this event and that she was suspended back in 2023. So it was some questions in terms of, did she lie about this, or is she putting 20 on 10 and she's using this as a trying to victimize Kenya Moore in terms of saying that Kenya was the reason that her license were suspended, when ultimately this suspension happened back in 2023. This situation here just happened late 2024. So which one is a girl? I'm sorry. If your license were suspended in 2023 for whatever reason, I'm not sure, her insurance license, and this altercation between you and Kenya Moore happened in 2024, I think that may be a lie. I'm not even a fan of Kenya Moore, but I don't like when a person lie on another person and put 20 on 10. If that situation and your license was suspended in 2023 for something else, don't be pulling that into this situation with Kenya to make it look like Kenya is out here trying to stop your bag. Like, yeah, no, I'm not a fan of a person lying on a person. Like, keep it 100. I mean, shit, keep it 1,000 if that's what happened. Okay, people keep saying, what kind of clients? So as you guys know on the show, let me play the clip. Hold on. Okay, because I have to do homework, y'all. Because some of y'all be like, what are you talking about? All right, so let's get to this next topic, because Brit Eady has spoken up. I'm sick of this situation, but we got to clear it up because she's lying now. First she said it was for something else. Then you said now that Kenya Moore, since she showed those pictures, you got clients calling you, and clients don't want to work with you anymore because your and now your license have been suspended. Your license that you got for being maybe an insurance agent or something of the sort. And we're hearing that happened years ago. All right, so according to Brit Eady, she says, if you tuned into last night's episode of Real Housewives of Atlanta, I mentioned my license was under investigation, not lost. Mortgage loan officers are not versed on licensed insurance agents. It's a completely different field of work. When your job is a public trust, it's important to investigate claims of fraud. Hashtag class dismissed. Okay, hashtag still got love for her, though. Talking about Kenya. All right, shout out to the Bravo Shade Room. Says Brit Eady goes on to say that, hey, insurance agent here, says, I think it's important that what happens in our personal lives can affect our professional lives. I'm no stranger to that. She said that I've seen so many cases online where people have been fired from their job from behavior due to social media access on camera phones, okay? Or camera phones, I'm sorry, okay? So a person says that, no, you lied for pity. Says that everybody with license knew that was a damn lie. Another person goes on to say that Angela was right, because Angela on the show also said that she had a license as well, and that you can only lose your license if there was under some type of fraud or something like that. So says that the law associated with the rights held over a license remain the same no matter the field. Everyone is entitled to due process. That's what she said. You were looking for pity. So people are calling Brit Eady out for lying and saying that Kenya Moore was the reason that her license were maybe suspended or lost because of the pictures that she put out when this situation occurred with her license in 2023, and the film that the scene was filmed in 2024 with Kenya Moore. All right, just to catch you guys up. So this next person says, if that's true, then why didn't you correct Shamil when she said it? Okay, so she just kind of sitting and allowing certain things to be said to make Kenya continue to keep taking daggers from this situation. So of course she already told Bravo and everyone else in interviews, no, she does not wish to or want to film any scenes or film anything with Kenya, which means of course she doesn't want Kenya on the show. Do I agree with what Kenya did? Hell no. But I also don't agree with Brit Eady putting 20 on 10 and saying that Kenya Moore made her lose her license or making things look worse for Kenya. She's already being attacked for this situation. She's already been fired from the show. Why lie and say that she had something to do with your license being suspended or taken away from you because of this situation when the two had nothing to do with each other? Y'all see what I'm saying? Brit Eady, you are a pathological liar, sis. All right, that's all I gotta say about that. That's all I gotta say about that. All right, if your license was suspended for something else, you should have said that. Okay. All right. So did I get to the end of that? All right. So let me make sure I got everything. All right. So I'm trying to stay within my time here. Okay, we got that. Got that. Y'all bear with me, okay? Yeah. So they said her license was lost in 2023, but it had nothing to do with Kenya because you didn't even have any type of interaction with Kenya Moore in 2023. You guys started filming early 2024. So that situation was for something else. She won't tell why her license were suspended or jeopardized either. That's what people are saying. What happened with your license? They were asking her that on the show as well. Let me pull up something. Let me see, can I find a little bit something more to bring some more clarity? Because baby, people were asking her about this situation with her license, and she don't seem to not want to talk about it. No. Right. Hold on. Hold on, y'all. Give me a second, okay? All right, so I'm gonna play this again because this where you know Claudia Jordan. I'm gonna spin the block on this because she actually talks about the license situation. I was trying to find the other thing that I looked at, but I'm really not getting ready to search like that because I want to move on to the next topic. All right, so shout out again to Bravo Shade Room. This is where Claudia Jordan is on Carlos King's Messy Monday, and they're talking about Brit Eady bringing ghetto energy to the show. And she says that Brit Eady is actually playing the victim card extra hard. And according to her LinkedIn page, said that Brit was allegedly done with Allstate Insurance since 2023. So it's given that she got her insurance license through Allstate Insurance, and she was working with them as well. But it's saying that she was done all the way back in 2023 before this situation occurred with Kenya Moore, and she's trying to link the two to make Kenya look worse than the situation was. It was bad. It was bad that Kenya showed the pictures of her in some explicit images, one of which they said that she was giving dome in a picture. I don't agree with that shit at all. But don't say that Kenya has something to do with your license being jeopardized when the shit happened way before Kenya. I don't agree with that. Like, don't lie on a person. Don't do that, because Kenya is also a businesswoman. As much as I really don't like her like that, I'm gonna go ahead and cap for Kenya, because she's a mother. She still has to pay her bills. She still has to move out here in Hollywood and in society and do what she needs to do in order to make ends meet for she and her child. So to lie and say that she has something to do with jeopardizing your means of making money and making ends meet was very much so fucked up. Okay, we gotta say it like that. And I cannot like a person, but I could be fair. All right, let's go ahead and play this, because this is what was said on Carlos King. Shout out to him. Shout out Carlos King. Shout out to Bravo Shade Room. Shout out to Claudia Jordan. Shout out to Dustin, because they're all on this particular post. Let's go.
Before you get all panties in the bunch, Brit, I don't like you on the show. I think you bring very much ghetto energy. I can't take your very nasally sounding nose, the way you talk. It's just like, whoever did that, please open up those nasal passages. It's too much. Like, it's like, how does your husband's a saint? I don't like you anymore. The way you busted, how we are protecting Angela Oakley and all costs, by all means. Okay. Angela didn't even ask me anything that was negative or mean. She said, I'm a broker too. Like, how does that happen? And I did my research. Well, a little bit of research. There's a LinkedIn page for Brit and her company that she was doing her insurance stuff with, right? And I contacted a real estate agent as well, and also someone that is in the mortgage brokerage business, Brit Eady. According to her LinkedIn page, she was with Allstate full time, and that was from January of 2020 to April of 2023, 3 years and 4 months. So it says that she's been done doing it. So I don't know if she lost her license from this incident or she just, I don't know. And I also talked to someone that said, I said, so can you lose before you get all panties in the bunch, Brit? I don't like you on the show. I think you bring very much ghetto.
Okay, so they were asking what were the basis of her losing her license. So Angela Oakley, who also says she owns, I think, 2 other licenses. Now she says the state licensor in Georgia requires a just cause for investigation, meaning that the licensing board must have a valid reason, such as a violation of laws or rules, to initiate a probe into a license conduct. Says that I hold 2 professional licenses. She said that my question still stands. What is the cause? So Brit refuses to say what the cause of something happening with her license was, even though Angela Oakley, who also talked about it on the show as well, she said, FYI, this is the case for any state licensed real estate, mortgage, insurance, no shade. All right.
Can you lose your license for, is there like clauses for personal behavior and all that kind of stuff? Like, what do they call those?
Morality clauses. Morality clauses.
My friend that did my loan said, no, there are strippers that do all kinds of OnlyFans, all that kind of stuff, that have these licenses that they don't lose their job. So that is bullshit. They said she would lose her license for financial crimes, fraud, things of that matter. Not if, and think how fast it happened, right? We are all just seeing the episode now. This happened when it happened. So you mean to tell me between that, the Kenya Moore hair care event, and then what, a month later, your company knew about this big scandal that was at a private event and you lost your license? I think she's playing the victim card extra hard now. Like, she sees an opening, she tried to comfort the queen in her mind. That didn't really pan out the way she thought. She got read down and made to look like erratic. So now let me play this victim card thing. And do you see how her mother was looking at her when she was telling her story? Her mother was looking at like, then at the end she realized, oh, I'm on TV. Yeah, that girl, because you're can you lose your license for if pretty? You know, they hate on you because you're pretty, girl. But I look at her mother's face. Go back. Her mother was like, here we go again. That's what I got. That's what I got from that pretty.
Claudia's windmilling for her friend Kenya, though. I ain't gonna hold you. She's a good friend, baby. She gonna drag and read for her friend. But you should be that way for your friend. You should be ride or die, honey, for your friend. If it's some bullshit like that and you stick it up for your friend, you supposed to go jugular. So I ain't even mad at that. She's a loyal friend. We can say that shit. But I think you need to pipe down just a little bit, okay? So Brit Eady, if she doesn't want to tell what it is, I mean, it is what it is. Those are her licenses. I don't really care that much, but I mean, it is news that I hope you guys was able to use. All right, we're able to use. Let's move on. Now, typically, I did not want to talk about this topic, but a few people asked me, Karmelo, would you give an update on it? I guess, shit, I didn't want to, but I will. I'm trying to get out of my box of things that I talk about over here, so let's entertain it, I guess, okay? As you guys know, yesterday was the case that happened between Maurice and Black Titanic. So shout out to True TV Podcast, because she is back. Y'all know she took a little hiatus. She is back. She did a video where she actually talked about said case. Now, she does have the documents over there. I have a few here that I'm going to share with you guys. Shout out to her. Let me go ahead and give credit where it is due, because we like to do that. Shout out to Truth TV Podcast for pulling those documents, and we're going to look at a few so that you guys, I guess, can be updated on what transpired. So there was another, I think, motion or something filed on yesterday as well. We're going to get into that and just kind of read into what it's saying so you guys can be well versed on what's going on. All right. So shout out to Truth TV Podcast. You see that document up? I'm going to have to read it from my phone because it's small. All right. Y'all see it there? Hold on, guys. All right. Because, child, that's small. All right? I can't see that shit. I got to blow it up. Give me a second. All right. So, oops. Give me a second. All right. So, as you guys can see, it was electronically filed up here at the top, electronically filed 4/15 at 3:28 p.m. It has the court date, Circuit Court of Madison County, Alabama. Deborah Kaiser is the clerk of court. All right. So in the district, what is in the Circuit Court of Madison County, Alabama, Maurice J. Scott Sr., which is the plaintiff, versus Sarita McNeil, aka, which is anonymous. You guys know other blogger here for Hot Tea, and Black Titanic, aka the defendant. Okay, BT, aka the defendant. Okay, so I'm going to go down and read what it has to say. This is the order. All right, we're going to read the order. Okay. So let's get into it. Say that this cause came before the court on April 15th of 2025 for a hearing on various pending motions and responses thereto, having considered the arguments and representation of counsel, and after due consideration of all relevant and applicable law, it is ordered, adjudged, and decreed by the court as follows. Number one, the plaintiff counter and defendant's motion for judgment on the pleadings and fees and costs under the Alabama Litigation Accountability Act filed on January the 6th of 2025 is hereby denied. Okay. Number 2, Helen Griffin, which is Black Titanic, motion for the court to enter a default judgment against Scott, which is Maurice, without delay, filed on January the 7th of 2025 is hereby denied. Okay. Number 3, it says that the third party defendant Oprah Winfrey Network LLC's motion to dismiss Helen Griffin's third amend cross claim filed on January the 10th of 2025 is hereby granted. Okay. So done this 15th day of April of 2025. Okay. Signed off by the judge Karen K. Hall. All right. So let's get the other up there. So what it's saying here is Maurice's motions to have his fees and all of that costs, court costs and all that paid by the defendants is denied. Okay, so he got to figure that shit out. They're saying also that OWN, of course, is dismissed again from this case. So OWN has been dismissed a few times from this case, and I think what's happening is, from my understanding, is that they keep being added back to this case, and the judge has again dismissed OWN from this particular case with Black Titanic in him. Okay. So they said that Black Titanic filed to get a default judgment against Maurice. That has also been denied. So it's sounding like they're going to try to head to court. I mean, to trial, from what I'm hearing. All right, so let's take this down and go to the next page. Okay. Shout out again to True TV Podcast. Okay. I mean, T for TV. I'm sorry. T for TV. Shout out to T for TV. All right. So let's get into. Did I get all of that? Hold on. Yeah, hold on. All right, so I'm just gonna give you guys just the cusp of, we're just gonna do the cusp of what's going on. If you guys want to see in all of the details in its entirety, you guys can definitely go over to T for TV's thing. What is it? 3. Hold on. Okay. Did I put that up? Hold on. Defendant's answer. Yeah, I didn't send that one. Hold on. Send it over. So we got to hear what the answer to this is, okay? And I'm gonna send you guys over, like I said, to T for TV's page, and you guys can see like all of the documents. We just gonna do just the basic, just to give you guys an update on what's actually going on. Give me a second. Let me upload this, okay? Give me 1 second. Load. Okay, there you go. I'm still here, guys. Hold on 1 second, okay? All right, so let's get that uploaded. All right. Let's return back. I haven't been reporting on this, but I had a few of you guys ask me, would I want to talk about it? I guess I'll talk about shit. I really didn't want to, but it's news. It's news. All right, so as you guys can see, so the plaintiff's counter defendant answer, all right, that's what's up on the screen right here. So as you guys can see, let me make it big so I can see it too. Okay. All right, so this was also electronically filed. All right. That's electronically filed on 7/11 of 2024, 11:17 a.m. All right, Madison County Court, in the District Court, Maurice J. Scott, as you guys can see right here where my mouse is moving. That's the case number. The defendants, Sarita L. McNeil, aka Anonymous. So let's get into what it's saying down here. We're going to read into it. Comes now. Plaintiff counter defendant Maurice J. Scott, Senior, Mr. Scott, and hereby files this answer to the defendant counterclaim complainant or complaint rather, Mr. Scott states as follows. The defendant denies all material allegations and demands strict proof thereof. Okay, that's what it's saying here. So it said the defenses, let's read that. Said that plaintiff's complaint fails to state any claims upon which relief may be granted. Lack of damages, contributory negligence. Number 4 is the waiver. Let me get the other up because there's more. Okay, let me get to number 5. Okay, because I gotta look on my phone because it's, hold on, guys. Okay, so let me get that up. Y'all please be patient with me. All right, so number 5. Oh shit. Hold on. Because it's so small. All right, so number 5, as you guys can see, no adequate remedy at law. Number 6, failure to mitigate damages. Number 7, conditions, precedent, okay. Failure to plead fraud with particularity, no resilience, okay. Number 10 is punitive damage. Damage is not permissible. Number 11 is unilateral mistake of fact. Number 12 is what is that? Screaming. What is that? Screaming. How can you say the word? Damn. These lawyer terms, child. What is that? Scrivener's error. Scrivener's error. Did I say it right? Number 13. If I mispronounce it, y'all know what I'm saying. Number 13 is privilege. Number 14 is immunity. Number 15 is no private right of action. Number 16 is failure of condition and precedent. Number 17 is misrepresentation. Number 18 is lack of causal relationship. Yeah, I'm struggling with some of these words, okay? Number 19 is acquaintances. I think that's how you say it. Number 20 is failure to preserve confidentiality. Number 21 is good faith. Number 22 is no intent to defraud. Number 23 is immunity. Number 24 is statement is privilege. Okay, there's more because it goes down to, let me get the next one pulled up. All right. Oh, nope. So this is what's going on. Is that it? Yeah, I think so. Shout out again to T from TV. All right. So let's get the next document up. Okay. Let's make it big so I can see it, child. Child, these legal terms, they be using some big ass words. My God. And I went to school. Jesus. All right. So number 25 is no government action. Number 26, statutory compliance. Number 27 is circuiter of action. Number 28, unclean hands. Number 29, delicto. Number 30, supervening cause. Number 31 is intervening cause. Number 32 is preemption. Okay. Number 33 is claimant own conduct or by the conduct of its agents, representatives, and consultants. Number 34, defendant may have additional defenses and therefore reserve the same. Said that wherefore, having fully answered, defendant prays this honorable court for an order dismissing the instant claim with prejudice at plaintiff's cost, attorney's fees for defendant's costs herein expended, and for such other and further relief as this court deems just and proper in this circumstances. And that's dated on July 11th, 2024, respectfully submitted by Maurice Scott. Okay. So he's asking for all of this to be, I guess, null and void. And the courts have, I think, said no. I think they've said no. So hold on. So we read the order. We got that. All right. So yeah, we don't need that. So again, for those of you who want to go over to T for TV's page, you guys can go over there and read the rest of the documents because she does have them. Okay, so I want to definitely give her credit for that. because she's one of our legal eagles, honey, who'll be pulling these damn documents and getting them out there so you guys will know what's going on. But long story short, it looks like from what I'm hearing, they're going to try to take it to trial because OWN, of course, has been dismissed again from this case. And Maurice was asking that his fees and court costs and all that be taken care of by the plaintiffs or by the defendants rather, and the court said no. So they denied that. And BT has filed to get a default judgment against Maurice for this particular case, and the judge also denied that. Okay, so again, go on over to T from TV to get the full documents on this particular case if you guys want to know more about it. Okay, I'm just going to do a hit and quit and give you guys the update on that. So OWN is no longer on the case with this particular case for them. All right, T4TV, T4TV. Okay, you guys can head on over. What's it? She has T from TV on here. All right. T from TV. That's what she has on here. That's what she put her watermark on here. It says T from TV. T4TV. All right. So y'all head on over to her channel to do that. And y'all support and hit the like button over there to support her for that. For she did pull those documents on that. Okay. So that's what had happened. So a new motion I'm hearing was filed on yesterday. And that's what it was. I read to you guys. All right. Yeah. All right. So that is it. And that is all on that. I think we got everything. Let me get all this stuff taken down. All right, y'all can put in the chat what y'all think about it. All right, I really haven't even talked about this case at all. I was pretty much letting everybody else talk about it. I really didn't want to talk about it because I felt like there were so many other things going on in this YouTube streets, child, to talk about an update on. But that is it, and that is all for our show, you guys. I have to go because I have to get ready for an upcoming meeting. All right. So I got to prepare for that. So you guys definitely have a great hump day. All right. And I will be checking back in with you guys with more news that I know you guys can use. Shout out to the 560 watching. Again, shout out to all of the publications that we read from today. Again, shout out to T from TV. You guys head on over there again and check out her channel on the Maurice update for that case. Okay. For my content creators, thank y'all. Give me 1 second. Thank you guys for being here. KBR Bell with some Scorpion, Miss Tyra, Rose Armstead, True TV Podcast. Thank you guys so much for all coming over and doing an awesome job. Says the girl at Karmelo, you have had me battling these trolls today. Oh, y'all were battling the trolls. Snatch by Diego. You always battling somebody. But love y'all now. Thanks, Snatch by Diego, for being here as well. Okay. Girl, what's the tea? Thanks for being here. Was Schoolboy here? If Schoolboy was here, thanks for being here because I know she used to pop in and out as well. Okay. Did I miss anybody else? Thanks, of course, my Caramelians for being here as well. Sunny Days, thanks for being in the chat. Any other content creators? Let me know. I don't want to miss anybody. I hate missing people. Thanks. I see you, Unibu, in the chat. Unibu is here. Thanks for being here. Anybody else? Did I miss any other content creators? If not, we're gonna get on out of here. Okay. Please don't forget Just a T, please. I see you. Just a T, please, is in the building. You guys check out all of these content creators that I mentioned. All right. And go over and support their channels and hit the like button over there. Purple Unicorn. Thank you for being in the building. Thanks so much for letting me know, guys. Girl, what's the T? I see you. So yes, there were trolls today. Anytime we're talking about certain topics, there will be trolls. So that's to be expected. And I trust all of my mods and everyone else to get in there and do what needs to be done. All right. To get the trolls up out of here because baby, they're going to be in here. But that's it. And that's all. Okay. Love you guys down. I will see you guys later. Please don't forget to like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, tell a friend to come on over to the Karmelo Show, subscribe to the channel. All right. And let's get out of here. If nothing else, honey, let's go.
Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, go.